Alright, what's happening, folks? It's your boy Naptown coming back. I got on here 2 days ago, and I made my Atomic Areola and Kessler versus Froch predictions. And I'm jumping on today. I'm supposed to do a follow-up video for Kessler Froch tomorrow, because I think there's a little bit more to talk about than what I talked about. But alright, so I'm gonna get to it today, the day of the fight. Hold on a sec, before I get into this, I gotta grab a cigarette. Hold on. Alright. So I told you guys yesterday that I was predicting Kessler to win by knockout in the 11th round, which you know, is another one of my kind of off-the-wall predictions, I guess. It's just the way I see it happening now. I think this is going to be a jab fight because they both present their own unique and workable jabs. Now, Kessler's is by far the better, technically superior jab and the stronger jab, which, you know, you can argue if you want with Froch having stronger hands, therefore the stronger jab, and his is sort of duck down up jab, and Kessler's is more the right here down the middle. You know what I mean? Froch is up, you know, he kind of bends down and jabs up, and Kessler just stands straight up and jabs forward. Okay, it's coming right down the pipe from Kessler, right down the middle. And there's no variation to it. It's really strong. It's a really strong jab. It's kind of like having a nice short right hand, but in a jab hand. I don't know. The guy's jab is just really powerful. Now, Froch's jab works for him. I mean, he's a big, slow punching guy, and he uses his jab and does set up that right hand real well. But Froch doesn't move. He comes forward and he goes backward. I mean, you know, these are the kind of people that Kessler has eaten up in the past. Now, if the Andre Ward fight was an indicator of any sort of where Kessler is heading, yes, Carl Froch may win this fight, but only by knockout. You know, if Kessler's on the decline, he can still outbox Carl Froch, because as far as boxing skills, like I said, Carl Froch doesn't possess them like some of the other guys in the Super 6. Arthur Abraham doesn't really possess them like some of the other guys in the Super 6. You know what I mean? I don't even think Green's that great of a boxer, you know what I mean? But Kessler is. He's the purest form of just textbook basic boxer. You know, textbook, you look up textbook in the boxing dictionary, it's probably a picture of Mikko Kessler right there. That's what he is. He's textbook in every single way. Okay? Froch isn't. I've heard Froch's defense complimented a lot, and I don't know. I don't know how good his defense is going to look against a guy like Kessler. It certainly didn't look that great against a guy like Taylor. And Taylor was certainly on the decline when he fought Froch. Get out of there, dog. Come on. Come on. Anyway, so back to the jab fight. Now Froch is going to get upset at a certain point in time with the jab fight, because he's going to realize he's not going to win the jab fight. Okay, so he's going to try to start putting pressure on Kessler. He's going to start trying to wrap him up, push him into the corner, and push him around. He's going to get dirty. He's going to get rough and dirty, because he thinks Andre Ward did it, so I'm going to do it, right? Or at least that's what their trainers are looking at. Somebody's going to see this as a weakness for Kessler. His inside game is shit. So they're going to try and make everything on the inside. Clinch, hold, punch, dirty punches, pushing, you know, just a lot of crap is going to probably ensue from this. But what they're not taking into consideration is you're not going to knock out Kessler. You know, you're just not going to knock him out. Carl Froch wants to knock him out, I think, but that's stupid. Why are you going to go into a fight with a guy like Kessler and expect to knock him out? That is stupid. You know, I hear a lot of predictions that Froch might win by KO, and I just don't understand that. I don't get it. I don't see how Froch is going. I know Froch has heavy hands. He's a hard puncher. you know, and he makes that work for him. But he's heavy. He's right hand reliant. Okay, he might be able to beat some people in the jab with the jab game, set it up. You know, he comes in with his up jabs and he sets up the right hand to come in. But well, let's look at it right here. Let's look at Kessler's fights. Okay, with guys like Froch. You know, the come forward, aggressive pressure types. That Kessler, you know, D-style's right here. Kessler wants you to act like that in a fight towards him because he can counter really well. And when you come in and you're slower than he is and you're trying to push forward and trying to pressure him, he's hitting you with counters the whole time. He's hitting you with jabs on the way in. He's scoring points. And at some point in time, you know, there will be a firefight, and who comes out on top is going to be the guy with the quicker, better technique, and it's going to be Kessler. It's going to be Kessler. So I just don't, I don't see Froch pulling this off, man. The guy is slow, sluggish. He has poor offensive techniques. His defense is just okay, and he really is going to be relying on a knockout here because I doubt very seriously he can win a decision justly, let alone one in Kessler's backyard. Okay. Now, if Kessler is on a decline, Froch might be able to pull off a decision, or at least if all the judges are fair, Froch might be able to pull off a decision on Kessler if it was on neutral ground. But with the deck stacked so much as it is against Froch, I don't see him pulling it off. Now, I told you when the Super 6 tournament shit jumped off, I told you that there was 4 guys with undefeated records going into this, and there was going to be 4 guys who get their first loss. Now, Darrell already got his first, Abraham got his first, and this is going to be Froch's first loss. And I think it's going to be a good fight. I think when Kessler decides to pour it on, when Froch is really putting the pressure on him, trying to get dirty, the ref will. I really think Froch is going to get a point taken away in this fight. So when after all that shit happens, and you know, Froch's game plan is just kind of crushed, Kessler's simple textbook game plan is going to implement itself in ways that Froch can't fathom right now. I think Froch thinks he has the edge over Kessler because of the Ward fight, or at least everybody, you know, making predictions is looking at the Kessler-Ward fight and looking at the Froch-Kessler fight going, I don't know. Kessler's going to win this fight, okay, whether by knockout or by unanimous decision. I think if it goes to decision, I think it's going to be an easy win for Kessler to go to decision. It's sort of like Andrade fight, you know, where the guy's just constantly putting pressure on him, but Kessler's constantly using his straight, speedy punches right down the middle, countering real well, and just coming out on top on the exchanges. So, you know, if you don't know by now, I'm not a Froch fan. I don't see much in the works for this guy. If it ain't a knockout, I don't see much happening for him. You know, if he hadn't have poured it on like he did in the last 30 seconds of the Taylor fight, he probably already would have got his first loss, and we probably wouldn't be talking about it much. But, like I said, that's just an indicator that he's dangerous from the first round to the last, and you can never underestimate him. Maybe I'm doing that. Maybe I'm underestimating him. But I think I'm estimating Carl Froch fair. Okay, he's going to be trying to pull the short right hands out of his ass when he can, when he gets in close, especially when he tries to bring it inside on Kessler. That's going to be his money punches, the really short right hand that Froch can use really well. And it is speedy enough. It's one of his faster punches because he shortens it up, and it's still strong, which is in and of itself kind of freaky to see him box but be able to use that hand like that. That's how he got Taylor. I hope Joe Habib's right about that. But all in all, Kessler's just better. I mean, he's got power. He's not as strong as Froch. He's faster. He has power. He has better technique. He has better foot movement than Froch, and Kessler's defense is better than Froch. I just don't see a way for Froch to win. Come here, babe. You want to say something now? Time to say it. Come on. You'll have to wait for us to video it's over. Go, Kessler. All right. Here's the other daughter. She wanted to say it too.
Go, Kessler.
Say peace out, YouTube.
Peace out, YouTube.
Later, y'all. NaptownBorn. Deuces.